King of Kings. There is only one. It's time to play the game. Time to play the game!
Damage 365 Radio with your host Kevin Nasta and John Torrey.
Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Damage 365 Radio. This is episode number 14, and I am your host, Coach Kev, along with my co-host, the real number 8, JT, who's in the house.
You know he's in the house.
He's in the house, folks.
Raising the roof.
Oh, boy, he's raising the roof.
Raising the roof.
All right, we got a good show in line for you today, so let's kick it off in style with, once again, for a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Not so much beautiful Saturday, but it was still good enough for Damage Softball as we have a 66.7% Damage Happy recap.
Makes me happy.
Damage takes 2 out of 3 this weekend of a triple header. Defeated James Verrucchio's Ballbusters 10-6. And in Game 2, defeated Pepper Jack Grill, the number 3 team in the league, 10-6 as well. Dropped the nightcap, though, 10-2 to the same Pepper Jack Grill squad. Finishing the season 8 up, 10 down. Playoffs now looming for next week. We'll get more into that a little later on. We don't have times, we don't have fields, but we do know who they're playing. But again, we'll cover that a little later on. But you know, pretty all in all, a good week for Damage Softball. A little adversity, players playing out of position, losing our shortstop for the remainder of the regular season due to injury. But all in all, I think that the team pulled together when they needed it most. And
boy, that victory tasted sweet.
We should have went to Pepper Jack Grill for
that would have been nice, right?
I've never been there. Seen them on Mystery Diners or Restaurant Stakeout, one of those shows.
I've seen them on the field.
But
we split.
We broke bread.
Possibly seeing them next week in the playoffs.
It's a strong possibility.
Can't wait.
But I mean, all in all, the girls came through, played very well, very hard. Stephanie Allen once again was plugged at third for all 3 games. Give her kudos for outlasting the heat and playing a very, very good third base. Our pitching staff, Jay Cuomo, who picked up a victory in Game 1 but picked up the loss in Game 3, pitched very well. Game 2, Rafael Laura, a.k.a. Papi.
Hey, Papi, wepa.
He pitched very well in Game 2, and, 3 pitches. Those 2 and Luis Soto, we head into the playoffs with 3 pitchers qualifying for postseason play. They can pitch. And, as of right now, I'm a little bit in a protest with the league. We should have had 2 more wins. Hands down, we played a team called Gingerbread Learning Center on opening day. We waxed the floor with them. And the next scheduled time we were supposed to play them, we got rained out. Now, this team never won a game prior to that and never played a game again after that. They forfeited their next scheduled game. Doesn't mean they weren't going to forfeit the game against us if it didn't rain, which they probably would have anyway.
Doesn't mean they were going to beat us anyway.
But every team that had remaining games with them for the rest of the season was credited with forfeit wins. We're the only team that did not get the benefit of 2 more forfeit wins against this team because of a rainout, which to me is a technicality of the rule. It doesn't matter. All rainouts are scheduled to possibly be made up. Now, you can't make these games up because the team forfeited out of the league, so they forfeit that right to make up games. So why should a team, in this case Damage, be penalized for this team dropping out of the league?
Right. Even if they scheduled make-up games, those games would be make-up forfeit games.
Exactly. So even if you put 2 fake games on the schedule and say, hey, you're scheduled to play Gingerbread 2 games today, they're not going to show up anyway. They forfeited out of the league, so we should have gotten 2 wins. We should have finished the season at 10-10. Which again would have put us in 4th place instead of 6th place. And right now I got a little pending argument going on with the commissioner because what's right is right. I mean, we should have gotten 2 forfeit wins this team was out of the league. We shouldn't be penalized because it rained the week we were supposed to play them, and then they've never played a game since. So if they haven't won any games up to that point, and they forfeit every game for the rest of the season, 24-game schedule should put them at 0-24, not 0-22.
Which they are.
Which they are, because they just ignored the fact that we had a scheduled game against them. But
so damage is pushed to the back burner.
So we'll see what happens. It's an ongoing thing, and whatever the case may be. So
we'll put it behind us.
Damage softball. Great job, 2 out of 3 this weekend against 2 teams that had better records than us, and we actually affected the results of the standings when we took that game against Pepper Jack Grill. We knocked them out of the 2 spot and knocked them out of the chance of having a bye this coming week.
You gave that to Platinum Mortgage.
Platinum Mortgage took the bye, and they took the 2nd seed. So you had the Furials finishing number 1, your Platinum Mortgage finishing number 2. As it stands right now, Pepper Jack Grill number 3, James Verrucchio number 4, Nightmares number 5, Damage Athletics number 6, and then the 2 teams that did not qualify for the postseason, the Bench Warmers at number 7, and aforementioned Gingerbread Learning Center at the number 8, forfeited out of the league. So, again, we had some adversity. We had to win at least 1 game to clinch a playoff spot. We had to win 2 games to basically show the team that we might be facing in the first round that we can hang with them, and we did hang with them, and we did defeat them. And technically, we defeated them with our number 2 pitcher. So
yes.
So
it was good confidence booster. It's good for team morale.
It's good job. But again, next week we got some. I don't know, some real softball to worry about.
We're coming to win.
That's when the stars shine.
That's right.
So moving on.
Shine bright like a diamond.
And now, the John Tory story.
And now we move on to the John Tory story. To take it away, JT.
And to begin my story today, I would like to speak about an up-and-coming rising star in the major leagues. Playing for the Baltimore Orioles, he goes by the name of Chris Davis. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this man is playing baseball out of his mind. With one final power surge before the All-Star break, 26-year-old Chris Davis earned himself a place in baseball's record books and generated momentum for the home run derby in which he's competed in. This man hit his 37th home run to tie an AL mark prior to the break, and the Baltimore Orioles cruised past the Toronto Blue Jays 7-4 on Sunday, yada, yada, yada. But the story's about Chris Davis, not the Orioles right now. This guy has 93 RBIs, second most in the majors behind Detroit's Miguel Cabrera, and he and Cabrera are the only players in Major League history to have 30 home runs and 90 RBIs before the All-Star game ever. And, I mean, to say the least, the guy is playing superhuman baseball. He's doing it all. 93 RBIs, 37 home runs, you're batting over 300. What more could you ask from a guy? He's a first baseman, a young stud. He can knock the ball out the park. He can play his position. He can do anything. Reminds me of Reggie Jackson, But I don't know. I mean, the guy's faced adversity. He put his team on his back this year, and now he's got his team competing. 53-33, third in the AL East, and they're making a push for it. I mean, he's got compliments. Scott Feldman allowed only 3 runs, 5 hits. Over 7 innings. Adam Jones, the center fielder, he also homered in the last game for his 19th. And they look like a force to be reckoned with this year,
Well, they were supposed to be. Buck Showalter is a very good manager. He preaches basics, a lot like David Johnson in Washington. And he works very well with young players. So, the Baltimore Orioles were expected to be one of the top contenders. The Blue Jays were expected to win the division. Not to say that's not going to happen. The Blue Jays are still...
Yeah, they're sitting in 5th right now.
They still got plenty of time. They got plenty of talent on that team. But my pick from day one was the Orioles, and that's who I'm going to stick with. And I said the Orioles were going to take the division, followed by the Tampa Bay Rays, the Red Sox, then the Yankees, then the Blue Jays.
Not a bad pick.
The Rays are our second-half team, so we'll see what happens with them.
They are. I mean, this guy's had 3 home runs in his last 3 games. He's on attack.
Well, we'll see what happens when he comes back from the All-Star break. You know, it's you know, you can easily go 36 games without a home run, and then we won't be talking about him anymore.
I know that all too well. 2 for 4, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. I mean, I give the guy credit. I mean, and he's got 66 games left in the regular season. I mean, this guy's on pace to set records. I mean, 37 now. You think, all right, we're a little more than halfway through the season. He's got 37. Well, and people consider the All-Star break half of the season. Could you imagine he goes for 37 after the All-Star break?
Could be talking
break Barry Bonds' record. I mean,
it's possible. I mean, a lot of people would love to see that, take Barry Bonds off the record boards, considering that he's
got an asterisk.
Yeah, since he's tainted, but
I don't know.
See what happens.
And there's a lot more stories in the majors, actually. For the first time in his career, Mr. Tim Lincecum, the freak from the San Francisco Giants, pitched 148 pitches and threw a no-hitter against the San Diego Padres.
Let's see if he has Johan Santana syndrome and
I hope not.
Career falls apart.
I hope not. That would really be a shame.
Considering he threw, 12 more pitches than Santana did in his
He did, but did you see the giant middle finger he stuck up?
No.
Yes. The giant middle finger Tim Lincecum extended Saturday night was to a baseball world that forgot who he was and who he can be. It was to the scouts who sneer at a fastball only 4 miles off of its peak, to the media that bemoaned his ERA ranking among the bottom quarter of starters, to the fans who believed his day of a Cy Young glory were long past. This man proved him wrong. 5'10", 100 and nothing pounds, bundle of impossibility. This man has resurrected his career. He threw 96 strikes, 52 balls, 13 strikeouts, 4 walks, and most importantly, no hits. And he knew it was always in him. He just never lucked into it, the guy.
One game.
Yeah,
I can name handfuls of pitchers that throw no-hitters who have amounted to nothing but a complimentary number 4 or number 5 pitcher.
Right, but
Homer Bailey threw the last 2, and he's not even an elite pitcher.
Right, but when this guy came into the league, he was the phenom. He was the phenom. He was like Matt Harvey today, you know.
With his mechanics, though, you only knew as he got older and his body started to break down a little bit, and without all the PEDs that are that used to be in baseball to help push you through that little extra when you don't have it in the tank, it's not there anymore. So, little frame, pitches bigger than his body, it was only bound to happen.
I understand. I mean, but in the second and third season, the guy won the NL Cy Young. I mean, I understand 2012 came, and he didn't just struggle, this guy. I mean, he created, whereas in past years the Giants couldn't count on him to start Game 1 and send the opposition into fetal position. Come to the 2012 postseason, he couldn't even crack their rotation. They pushed him to the bullpen, and
he pitched out of the bullpen last year in the World Series.
He did, and I felt bad for the guy, because, I always thought he had it in him. Throws hard. I remember him hitting 98 at one point.
No, he was a hard pitcher, but again, his mechanics, the way he pitches bigger than his body. And you only knew it was time until his body started to break down. And again, there's not those little magic pills anymore that you can just pop to give you that little extra now, especially day games after night games. And it just,
Right, but the guy, he wasn't a reliever. He came in as a starter. He was a starter. As he progressed in life, he was a starter. And he had it in him that he didn't want to be coming out of that bullpen for short little bursts, here and there. This guy can go the distance. And I understand he struggled. In 2012. But everybody goes through that once in a while, Look at CC Sabathia right now.
Yeah.
9-8. Had another loss today. But this guy gets paid about $500,000 a game to go out there.
Yeah, he gets astronomical numbers because he put up in the past astronomical numbers. But to CC's credit, this is not the same Yankee team that he's pitching for that he signed that contract with.
Understandable, but he's still pitching.
He is.
And he's getting them losses.
But the problem is that you can't win games unless your team scores.
Right. But you can't lose games if you don't give up any runs.
True.
That's true.
Nobody's won a 0-0 game.
You're right about that. Only one tie. Only one tie.
Yep.
Thanks to Bud Selig.
Yeah, that's an old season.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's why it counts now. Tuesday, tune in. It counts.
It counts.
I'm going with the NL.
I always go with that now.
Me too. The NL's got good players though.
Yeah, screw that.
You think you're gonna see Pujols?
Nah.
Nah. Chris Davis.
Yeah.
You watch out for this guy. Not to mention also, in case the MLB managers and owners are listening, Tim Lincecum is a free agent after this season. New York Mets. Tim Lincecum is a free agent after this season.
No thanks.
He's a free agent. I think he needs to be picked up.
Nah.
Yeah.
Not in New York.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
Because we're not a franchise that recycles players anymore. Can't do it.
I'm not trying to recycle the guy. Throw him into the rotation.
No. You got 4 quality pitchers right now. You go out and you sign yourself a veteran pitcher that's going to be number 2 in your staff that can squeeze between Harvey and Wheeler and lead by example as well as win games. Lincecum's not that type of player, and he's a West Coast guy. He's not,
why don't you
he would never sign on the East Coast.
Now, wait, let's say he has a great rest of the year. No Johan syndrome.
And if Giants don't re-sign him, he'll wind up either...
Why don't we sign him and then trade him?
Because no, there's no sign and trades in baseball. It's not basketball.
Well, we could sign him and then trade him.
He'll wind up on the West Coast somewhere. L.A., Dodgers, Angels, San Diego, Oakland, one of those teams. Oakland actually would be a really good spot for him because he's not going to demand a large contract because he is coming off a bad season from last year. And even if he does go lights out for the remainder of this year, he's not going to get the contract he would have if it was 3 years ago. So I can see Oakland giving him a 1-year or 2-year deal, making him maybe the first number 1 or number 2 highest paid pitcher on their team.
Well, they're small market baseball.
And Billy Bean's
anyway.
smart. So, I mean, Oakland's still plugging away and still looking the best in the West.
Always undercover. Undercover, though.
It's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, you're right about
that.
that.
Not a secret anymore. Oakland's front office knows what they're doing.
Maybe if they can win some playoff games.
It's a shame that the Mets couldn't hold on to Billy Bean since he was a former Met and put him in the front office.
Seems that the Mets can't hold on to anybody good.
So
except for Mr. Captain David Wright.
Yep.
And Lincecum's numbers, they're not all that different from 2011 when he had a great year. I mean, his strikeouts to 9 innings are almost identical, 9.12 to 9.39 this year. Walks per 9 innings, 3.57 to 3.69. Home runs he's given up per 9 innings, 0.62. Now they're 0.84. The only difference you see is in the ERA. In 2011, his ERA was low, 2.74. Now it's at a 4.61. He was coming out the bullpen, right? So that could affect it a little bit. And now the man is going to resume the starting position, and he is possibly going to lead the San Francisco Giants to the NL West title and possibly the playoffs.
Yeah, Dodgers are winning that.
You know what? I personally think the Dodgers will win it too. Twee.
And the wild card's not coming out of that division.
2 wild cards.
It's not coming out of that division.
You don't think so?
No.
Why?
But have you seen the NL Central?
I have.
St. Louis, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Have you not seen the Central?
You never know with the NL West.
Yeah.
You would have thought the Rockies were out of it the year they went to the World Series when they pulled off 24 in a row.
Atlanta Braves win the East. The St. Louis Cardinals win the Central. Dodgers win the West. Your 2 wild cards that come out of the National League will be the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mark it down, ladies and gentlemen. This man knows the future. He's called just about everything to do with the WWE. He's called... What else have you called?
Just
Miami?
Disturbing stuff.
I think he called the Heat to win it all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, look forward to the 84th Annual All-Star Game this Tuesday, and props to Tim Lincecum for throwing his first no-hitter. Never had a bigger time in his life. And this, my friends, is the end of the Tory story.
The end?
The end.
And welcome to the Meet the Mets segment of the show. Very briefly, Meet the Mets segment. Josh Satin still tearing it up And Ike Davis, still stinking it up.
Stinker.
Stinking.
170.
Oh my God, he's batting 100 since he came back.
Batting 100 now.
100 since he came back.
Imagine
Batting
he could've
170 for the season, but since he returned with his whopping 290 batting average in Las Vegas, with his home runs, with the thin air that anybody can hit a home run down there.
The guy's got just as many home runs as Anthony Recker, by the way.
I just don't want to. Just send him down there. Let him finish the season in minor league. Leave Josh Stanton at first base.
And to think they thought about giving this guy a spot in the home run derby.
Who, Ike Davis?
Yeah, to have a hometown guy there.
Well, according to
we're gonna have Mr. Right there.
What reporters were saying after yesterday's game, he looked atrocious in yesterday's batting practice. Now, if you look atrocious in batting practice, how the hell are you supposed to perform under the bright lights of the big city of New York? I mean, they got to send him down. Send him down to the minor leagues. Let it work out. Play the whole season down there. I mean, he'll put up some sick numbers down there because the thin air down in Las Vegas, guys just rake when they're down there.
Yes, they do.
But still, I mean, his pitch selection's terrible. He swings at everything. He always looks confused.
He does.
He looks fastball, he gets curveball. He looks curveball, he gets fastball. He's a guess hitter, and he's not even a good guess hitter. So, I mean,
maybe he should just try to walk.
It's just,
well, if he doesn't swing, he can't look bad, right?
It's awful. But we do head into the All-Star break. Check this Mets score. What do we do?
Mets win today.
Mets win today.
Dylan G. 7-7 on the year. Parnell with the save. Mets pull it out. 4-2.
4-2 Met win. Going into the All-Star break, Yankees dropped their game today. As we mentioned earlier, going into the All-Star break.
10-4.
10-4 to the Twinkies. Which Twinkies, by the way, hostess. Twinkies are back, by the way.
Yes? No,
yeah,
they're not.
They are.
Twinkies are back.
They are back.
Like legit Twinkies.
Legit Twinkies.
Oh my God. Yeah. I gotta call Willie Harrison.
Yes. So we head into the All-Star break. Tomorrow is the Home Run Derby, and we'll see what happens there. As the team captained by Captain America David Wright in the National League. We'll take on Robinson Cano, captain of the American League, and we'll see what happens there. And Tuesday is the actual game, the game that counts. National League versus the American League at Citi Field in Flushing, Queens, New York. Finally a nice an All-Star game in our beautiful stadium, a.k.a. our shopping mall in the Queens, the baseball field stuck in the middle.
I'm really looking forward to this.
So we'll see what happens there. I mean,
will you be watching?
Will I be watching? Yeah, I'll be watching.
I'll be watching. Usually I don't, but this year I feel importance. You know.
Feel the importance.
I feel like it really means something this year.
Well,
I really do.
Hopefully the National League takes it, so I can watch the
New York Mets in the World Series.
The Los Angeles Dodgers and Don Mattingly have home field advantage in the World Series. That's what
you would think.
Yes.
I mean,
as they battle it out.
You would think.
As they battle it out with the Boston Red Sox.
But it's not over till the fat lady sings. I like the Boston Red Sox pick. I do. I like the Red Sox pick. It's very possible.
And it's very fitting, considering that the Boston Red Sox dumped all those players to the Dodgers, and that they would face each other in the World Series and against all those players they traded.
And then the Dodgers say, "Ha-ha, joke's on you."
And then after the All-Star break, maybe we'll see Ryan Braun and A-Rod get suspended. A-Rod would be up for 150 games, and Braun would be out for 50 games.
Tisk, tisk. Shame on you.
Oh, well, that's what happens when you abuse steroids.
Hey, who thinks A-Rod is going to break the home run record of Barry Bonds? Tweet your answers. Just kidding.
I hear crickets.
So do I.
And that's the end of our Meet the Mets segment.
Meet them, greet them, beat them, say goodbye.
And now let's go into our Intercontinental Championship tournament that we ran, and the finals. It is over. If some of you might have got the sneak peek at our Facebook page, facebook.com/damage365, and saw that the winner of the tournament between CM Punk and the Macho Man Randy Savage. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have a winner. And once again, reigning supreme, the winner of the Damage 365 Intercontinental Championship Tournament and undisputed Intercontinental Champion is the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Oh yeah!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He defeated CM Punk to take home the honors of being the first ever Damage 365 Intercontinental Champion.
Props to the Macho Man.
It was a great tournament.
It was.
You can view that tournament also on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Damage365. You can see the link there and view the entire tournament, how it unfolded from fighter number 1 to fighter number 64, all the way down to the champ, the Macho Man Randy Savage.
But I'm sad it's over. What do we do about that?
Well, there's only one thing you can do when you lose something that's so special. You gotta replace it with something else as special.
Or even better.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for the first ever Damage 365 World Tag Team Championship Tournament. And it was officially started at 2:37 this morning. And 64 of the best tag team wrestlers of all time are in this tournament and battling it out for round number 1 supremacy. Friday, as always, there will be the result of round 1 and will be announced on our show next Sunday. You can view it. Just take a sneak peek at our Facebook page, facebook.com/Damage365. Click on the link and check out all 64 tag teams as they battle it out to be the undisputed Damage 365 World Tag Team Champions.
Hope you're ready. It's gonna be a slobberknocker.
I'm psyched. I'm
Me too.
legitimately psyched about Pump. Oh, CM got punked.
Yeah. I said pump,
Oh, pumped.
not punk.
Oh,
Not the
yeah,
Ashton
yeah.
Kutcher show. Not MTV. This
Oh.
is Damage 365 Radio.
I missed that shit.
You missed that show.
Punk is hilarious.
Prank punk, same stuff. You know.
And now for our next segment, a brand new segment. It is now time for the Win a Date with JT contest.
Oh, the lucky ladies line up.
Skanks need not apply.
Please, no.
Men, as much as you might find this young man next to me ravishing, he is straight. So ladies only, please. Ladies only. Go to our Twitter page. Answer this trivia question. Prior to 1996, the rookie season of El Capitan Derek Jeter, who was the starting shortstop for your New York Yankees. That would be 1995 if you're counting at home, and I know you are. So who was the starting shortstop prior to El Capitan in 1995? Tweet us your answer at Damage Athletics. Your answer, hashtag that. JT Date.
The real number 8.
And your prize will be an all-expense-paid date with the real number 8. See how that rhymed?
Yours truly.
That's right, folks. So check it out at Damage Athletics on Twitter. Or go to our Facebook page, Damage365. Well, facebook.com/Damage365. Send us your answer. Brother Steve, please don't tweet that answer in because...
No, please don't. I don't want to date you.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
Ducka, whatever I call you, my brother. Do not tweet.
Tweet that answer in at Damage Athletics, your answer, hashtag JTDate, or go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Damage365. Comment your answer on our Winner Date with JT contest.
And ladies, one date with me will last a lifetime. I can promise you that.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
It will be a good thing.
You a great main event here tonight. Andre, the China WrestleMania.
Hulkamania is running wild.
My God, what a
And wrestling news, as we got to speed up on here because we're playing around too much today. Tonight is the Money in the Bank contest. Contest. Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Rumors also that the Ultimate Warrior might appear on tomorrow's show to launch a promo for the WWE 2K4 game. And as expected, Brad Maddox is your Raw GM. That's embarrassing. The Wyatts have made their presence felt, and they will on pay-per-view. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to former Damage alum Carolyn Ursillo. Happy birthday to current Damage player Joe Eng. And I think that's it. Former player Christine Gomez-Martello. Damage softball, folks, next week. Wish us luck.
We're coming to win.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out.